Hello everyone, welcome to the channel and to another video. And in this video I've been thinking for a while that it's been a long time since I made another updated Warden guide. The last one, the previous one was a long time ago. And I've picked up so many tricks after that, during these times that I've been playing For Honor and playing my favorite character, Warden. I feel like I should share it with you guys who actually care to improve their gameplay. It might actually help you improve your Warden gameplay, because I've seen throughout my career of playing a Warden that many Warden players don't do Warden stuffs. At least the stuffs that I think that are Warden stuffs, and I probably think that any Warden main will agree with me on that one. I've divided the video into three parts. The first part is the basics, all about the routine stuffs that this hero has and every other basic stuffs that a hero can have in details, of course. And the second part is the punishes that you can do with this hero, and the optimal ones, the best ones that you can do. Also the final part that I feel like is the important part, and the reason that I've updated this video and made another Warden guide, is the advanced tips that I feel like would help you a lot with Wardens, to pick up Warden. Because as a whole pointer thing, before we go into the video, just this small statement I have to say: Warden is a easy hero to pick, but it's way hard to master this hero. And we're going to talk about the reasons and stuff. This is just an intro, so I'm not taking any more of your time. But be sure to tell me in the comment what do you think, what was helpful, what was not helpful. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that. It helps a lot. So let's start with the basics.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Okay, for the basics, the first thing that I'd like to discuss is the light attacks. Pretty standard, right? The side light attack deals 10 damage, the top 12 damage. But there's a catch to Warden, that's a special ability that Warden has, is that you can double light on the sides only, which deals 15 damage. But well, it deals 6 more stamina damage to you, so you spend more stamina for more damage than the top light even. You can chain the top light. The second one is blockable. Also, you can technically do a light spam. It has a 2 chained light on the other side, which you basically deal more damage. 10 if you do it on top, for example top left, you can do more damage because the top is this 12, and the second one will deal 14 damage. So you basically deal 26 damage on this setup. But if you started with the side and top, ironically you deal less damage, because your initial damage, it's not unironically to be honest, because your initial damage is 10, 13, 12, 14. And yeah, all of these lights are fast for old Warden players that think that the follow-up lights are slower. All of them are 500 ms, which you have to delete the indicator appearance of the first 100 milliseconds. So basically, technically saying, if you're reacting to indicators, it's 400 milliseconds, just like any other normal light. So that's the thing for the lights. Another thing is that the lights are all normal. They're not enhanced. The guy can fully block you and reset your frame advantage. Okay, the next subject is heavies. Warden, heavy attacks, straightforward, just like any other normal heavy attack. Deals 24 damage on the sides. Deals 27 damage on the top. But the top one is slower than the side ones. The next one is the chained heavy attacks. So just like lights that were 2 lights, you could chain it two times. Either tap tap on the sides, or tap tap on one on the other side. For example, one on the other side. Warden has 2 chain heavies, so one heavy initial and the other one to finish. So the side on and they are unblockable. So they have to react to it. They have to either parry it or dodge it. And they deal a lot of the... Warden is a hard hitter in my opinion. Like, he hits hard. 28 damage on the follow-up side heavy. And the top heavy finisher deals 32 damage. 32, that's a lot of damage, guys. 32 damage is a lot. So these are the heavies. So you can do this. You can do this. And also the side heavies, let's say you have normal catch the trajectory. For example, you're in Dominion, it's good to use the side heavies. It's a common sense, to be honest. It has a good trajectory. Not the best, just like Medjay, but good trajectory. And if your opponent dodges too early, you can catch them with this here, with this unblockable. That's it for the heavies. Another tip that I'd like to say, I might say it in advanced, but it's not that advanced. Because it's not going to work most of the times unless your opponent is too impatient and just presses so many buttons. You can delay your follow-up heavies. You see, I'm delaying it a little bit. You see, I'm delaying it even a little bit more. Yeah, or you can like immediately do it, or you can delay it. It will catch. It used to catch many people back then that Warden didn't have the follow-up shoulder bash on each of his attacks. But now, because people like know they don't have frame advantage after the heavy, they do not do anything stupid after that. They usually wait unless they try to interrupt you. They guess, okay, he's going to do shoulder bash, so they try to interrupt you, so you catch them with this. And also delaying it will catch people early dodging pretty much continuously. It was an advanced tip, but I felt like the need to say it here because I'm going to forget about it, because it's forgettable, this tip. It's not that useful. So that was about the heavies. Let's talk about other simple moves. So Warden's next move is the zone attack. Always come from the right. Deals 30 damage, so use it wisely. And you can chain it into a heavy. It's chainable into a heavy. Or you can chain it into a shoulder bash. Now, we were going to talk about shoulder bash, but just as you know, so it's 400 ms. I mean, it's 500 ms, but you see 400 ms of it. It's a fast attack. And yeah, that's it. Alright, this move is very important, in my opinion at least. That dash forward heavy. It's 500 ms, so basically it's basically a light, but it's heavy. It counts as a heavy, deals 16 damage. And it can be an initiator, so you can chain it into a finisher heavy or a shoulder bash. So what makes this move very important? First of all, it's a gap closer, so you immediately close your gap. It's a very good initiator because it's a light. It's safer than a light, because you get a light parry, you get much more punish. They get much more punish out of that if you get like a simple heavy parry. And the next one is that you can delay this bad boy. So you see I'm instantly doing it. After I dodge, I immediately press heavy. Or, you see how much I can delay that? I'm not very sure, but I feel like you can like because your dodge forward recovery is 300 ms, basically you have like 200 ms at your disposal to delay it. I feel like the 400 nerds help me in that part. But you can delay the shit out of this thing. You see how much delayed it is? So it will like, you can play with your opponent and it will get them. Because usually people, when they say you do a dash forward and they kind of guess you're going for a dash forward heavy. And since it's very fast, it's 500 ms, they go for a pre-dodge, pre-parry. So by delaying it, you kind of mess with their timings. And you can get away with it. So very important move, can be delayed, and a very good chain starter initiator. Alright, the next move of Warden is a running attack. It's 400 ms, super fast. It's a very fast attack. People usually just block it. When they see that you're running, they usually just block it. They try not to parry it, but it's parryable. Like, it's not that hard to parry, but again, it's a fast attack. So you can just, if you be very skillful with your running, say I'm trying to do it, you can just run fastly and just quickly do it, very quickly. And it kind of catch them off guard, but it's kind of hard to execute. I even myself can't do that very often, and I won't do it most of the times. It's kind of like a very let's say a trick shot, kind of, for crowd amusement. But it's a very good trick if you can like master it, especially in close quarter and your opponent is kind of like you can catch them off guard. Well, they say why he is unlocking, kind of catch them off guard, and you immediately turn back while running and do the running attack. Again, it's kind of an advanced point, but I felt the need to say it while we're on this subject because it's kind of forgettable and not many people use this. It's basically a trick shot, but it's helpful if you can execute it. And also, the final thing that I can say is that if you lock while after you attack, you can chain it. You can even chain it here too, but you have no control over your character's side, so he always attacks to the right. The unblockable attack always comes to the right. But if I immediately switch, I can change my direction, but here I can't change it. So, and also you can't chain it into shoulder bash. I forget that if you do not lock, you can chain it into shoulder bash. But after you lock, you can immediately go into shoulder bash or go into unblockable. You see? Now, if you have watched my tier list videos, which I do recommend, go watch them. I put the links here on top right of your screen. Go enjoy. I always put Warden in dual tier lists. I always put Warden in top tier. I'm not a very good Dominion player. I'm a better duelist player. I still am shit, but hey, somebody just gotta try, right? Anyways, the reason I always put, and I'm not a biased person. I love Warden, but the only reason that Warden is so solid. He's not S tier. He used to be, but not S tier anymore. But very, very, very top duelist. A tier, in my A plus tier even. In my opinion, if there is a rank A plus, Warden is A plus. And the only reason is shoulder bash. Like nothing, nothing else. The only reason is shoulder bash. Now let's talk about shoulder bash. The whole thing about shoulder bash, I'm going to talk about it more in advanced and punishes. But the thing that I'd like you to know in basics is that Warden has 3 type of shoulder bashes: uncharged, half charged. Half charge has a lot of varieties. Like, it's not strictly at the same amount of time that you can let go of your shoulder bash. Okay, like each bash, when you go into bash animation, you have in between 700 to 1300 milliseconds to let go of your bash. Basically, your bash duration is that. Okay, so between those, if you let it go, it's a half charge bash. Basically, that's why we call it half charge. Now let's talk about a little bit of timing and why shoulder bash is so good. And I dare say, it's unreactable. And the reason is, okay, let's talk about the timings now. That's why the reason is there. The reason is hidden in between the timings. On side dodges, not the front dodge. I'm going to talk about the front dodge as well. On side dodges, your input window is between 300 to 500 millisecond, and your bash starts from 700 to 1300 milliseconds, right? So basically, if you press your input at 500 milliseconds and Warden does the shoulder bash, the time your opponent has to react is very, very low, especially on uncharged, right? Well, I mean, in fully charged, it still has a possibility. You know why? Because you can cancel this shit. That's right, it's cancelable. But if your opponent was like about to, so your opponent can't dodge, you can guard break them, or dodge attack, you cancel it, wait for their dodge attack. So basically, it's it's unreactable, and they always have to guess. Okay, he's going to let that go right away. He's going to let that go midway. So some people are a little bit smarter. They see you dash forward or they see you dodge. They immediately dodge. It's called pre-dodge. They try to immediately dodge. And it's going to basically skip your uncharged shoulder bash and full charged shoulder bash. They basically skip 2 types of shoulder bashes. They can double dodge basically. But guess what? You have half charge shoulder bash. You can catch them while they're early dodging. That's why this tool of Warden is so amazing. They can't run away from you. Alright? So I'm going to talk about it more in advance and punishes. But mark this word of me. Shoulder bash is your best chance. Okay, let's continue with the basics. The next thing that I try to say is that you can chain all of your attacks into shoulder bash as well. Not only you can do it from neutral, you can chain everything from light, for example, double light, shoulder bash, zone attack, shoulder bash, running attack, shoulder bash, dash forward heavy, shoulder bash, unblockable attack, shoulder bash, heavy, shoulder bash. Okay, so you have everything. And the final thing is I've preserved the best thing for the last. Dash forward bash. What's so important about dash forward bash? I'm going to talk about it in punishes more and advanced more, but just have this, that dash forward shoulder bash has a better starting input window. So it basically starts from 100 millisecond. Others are 300 on sides. This one, your bash starts from 100 milliseconds. Right? Okay? That's a lot. And I'm going to talk about it more, but just have that. The dash forward bash is faster. Let's just say that. The dash forward bash, you can go, like, I have to say it like this. You can go into dash forward bash faster than side bashes, okay? Just have this. Dash forward bash, you can go to it faster than the side. Which makes it even harder to react to. Bear that in mind. Now, I hope it was not confusing. I kind of can get confusing sometimes, but bear with me. So, we already know all the basics. We know how they work. Now let's briefly, before we go into punish, talk about what chains Warden has. So Warden has, I kind of should say infinite chains, but it's basically a 2 attack chain. So it's light into heavy finisher. So just remember that each finisher is unblockable for Warden. Unless you don't do it. Unless you do a shoulder bash. So any light, double light into heavy finisher, 1 light into heavy finisher, zone attack into heavy finisher, dash forward heavy into finisher. Running attack, again, it's kind of hard to do it in close quarter. I love doing shoulder bash, that's why I did that there. So running attack into heavy finisher. Now, what I should say technically, when you do the heavy finisher, it should end your chain, but it won't in a way, because after that you can chain it into a shoulder bash. But if you whiff the heavy finisher and you try to go into shoulder bash, they can guard break you if they dodge and guard break you in a right time. Sometimes they do not do that and they guard break too late, and guess what? You see that their guard break bounces off because they did it too late, and you see that and you immediately charge into fully charge. That's that. Into fully charge, free top heavy.
Why you bully me?
Welcome to the punish section. We start from parries. On heavy parries, you can get a light. For optimum damage, your maximum damage is double side lights. 15 damage. You can do a top light. 12 damage. Now, you can do another type of punish, which is zone attack. 13 damage. So, you tell me which one is better. True. Double side light. Less stamina compared to zone attack. And also more damage. But again, why people might say, why do the top light? Top light, you use less stamina for top light. So if you're short on stamina and you don't want to spend much of your stamina, you can do the top light. But other than that, always go for the double side light. Alright? In duels. Not in Dominion. In Dominion, there's another factor, which is other guys that trying to get your ass. In that case, I recommend the zone attack. That has a better trajectory, of course. Okay, now let's talk about the light parries. You get a top heavy after you parry the light. Straightforward, nothing else. The best optimum way is top heavy, 27 damage. You can do the side heavy, but it's 24 damage. Although it needs the same amount of stamina, but it deals less damage. So always go for the, guessed it, top heavy on top lights or side lights anyways. On a guard break, you get a side heavy guaranteed. But don't even dare to go for a top heavy. This guy didn't block. Let me tell him to block. But on top heavies, they can block it. Alright? So, always do the side heavies. Unless you're next to a wall, then wall splat, do a top heavy. On wall splats, Warden always gets a top heavy, guaranteed. Nothing else. If you're too next to the wall, doesn't matter. You still get the top heavy, don't worry. Some shitty heroes don't get that. I don't know why. But, yeah, with Warden, it always works. Warden is reliable. Yeah, I'm not biased. All right, now let's talk about shoulder bash punishes, and I'm going to add another heavy parry punish that includes shoulder bash to this part. So let's start with the basic shoulder bash punish. On uncharged shoulder bash, you get either a double light, guaranteed. These are the guaranteed moves. I'm going to talk about the unguaranteed moves as well. The guaranteed move that you get out of uncharged shoulder bash and half charge shoulder bash is lights. And the optimal way to punish is the double side light. You can do the other option, which is top light, or you can do a zone attack. All of them, as you can see, only top light doesn't have it, but others have new animations as well. You see, beautiful animations, beautiful. But yeah, double side light, you spend stamina a little bit more than top light. Top light deals 9 stamina damage to you, but your double side light deals 15 stamina damage to you. So that's a lot compared to top light, but that's more damage as well. 3 more damage to be precise, and 3 more damage. You might think it's not that enough. It's enough, trust me. In larger scales, when you do double side lights, for example, you double shoulder bash the guy, you deal 30 damage. 30 damage. That's a lot. And if you do a top light, you did 24 damage. See? Now the difference is 6. It's going to scale. Don't look 1 meter in front of your feet. Look much further. See the bigger picture. Anyways, and the final thing that you can get is, as I told you, the zone attack. I don't know what kind of person would do it in a duel. You probably are a maniac. People only do this when their opponent is guaranteed that their opponent is going to die, or they try to just be fancy. But in Dominion, since it's zone attack, it has a good trajectory, so do it. That's recommended. But in duels, never do this. Yeah, don't do this. Please, I'm begging you. 30 stamina damage, and the shoulder bash itself deals 12 stamina damage to you. So 42 stamina damage. You only have 120, as I remember, stamina as Warden. So yeah, don't. And let's talk about the final shoulder bash. So these are all applied to half charge shoulder bash as well. Okay, half charge, either light or zone attack or top light. Now, what about the fully charge? That's another story. The guaranteed is a heavy, but the optimal is a top heavy. 27 damage with a beautiful animation. You can do a side heavy with another beautiful animation, but it's less damage. The only time that I recommend you to not do a top heavy and do a side heavy is during Dominion. It has good trajectory. Not the best, but it's kind of good. Also, a very quick note on follow-up heavies and attacks. All of them, light, zone. They all have uninterruptible stance. So it's very useful in Dominion, not in duels, because technically you won't get attacked while performing these from your opponent. But others can't interrupt you while doing light attacks and heavy attacks and zone attack. So I wanted to put that there. Also, the fully charged shoulder bash wall splats as well, which again in 1v1 doesn't matter, because again in 4v4 it even does not matter. But for some reason, if you got distracted, let's say, or interrupt, you can still go for the top heavy because you still have a little bit of time, because your opponent got wall splatted and is stunned. So these are the guaranteed, but you might be thinking, what if I do a heavy an uncharged shoulder bash. You can still do that, but they can either parry it or block it. So don't do that. Unless it's the minion again, you try to just throw attacks to hit the other people around you. So yeah, and on fully charged you still can get the light, but I don't know why you should do that, so don't do that. And that's it for the shoulder bash punish. But before I forget about it, let's talk about another heavy punish that includes shoulder bash. Now what is that? Do I need to say anything else? Alright, so you can, let me talk about it. Why somebody should sacrifice 12 stamina when the guy can just do a double light. Now that's a very good and important question, my guy, and I'm going to answer it. Because each shoulder bash of Warden deals stamina damage to your opponent as well. And the trade is significant. On fully charged shoulder bash, half charged shoulder bash, and uncharged shoulder bash, you deal 10 stamina damage to your opponent and you receive 12 stamina damage in return. So you only have 2 less stamina than your opponent when you both have the same stamina. I mean, you follow it up with double light, so you have more stamina loss. You have 15 more. But like only pure if you just do pure shoulder bash, it's kind of a very good trade in my opinion. They lose 10 stamina, you lose 12 stamina on bashes only. So the reason that people do this is first, you couldn't do this before, but after they made the dash forward shoulder bash input window faster, you go into the bash at 100 millisecond. It's doable now. And it's kind of funny because to this day, when I play against some people and I parry their lights, parry their heavies, I go into dash forward shoulder bash and I can see sometimes that they try to dodge it. They think it's dodgeable and they never can dodge it. So it's also funny as well when you see your opponents try to dodge it and they can't. And yeah, it's the best stamina damaging that you can. So if you have stamina, after each parry, heavy parry, go for a shoulder bash and a double light or a top light if you yourself have lower stamina and you don't want to lose much stamina. So that's a very secret and beautiful punish that a Warden should do. If you feel like you're a very good Warden, you should do that, okay? Alright, so let's talk about the out of stamina punish. And since you're a Warden and I just told you about the hack of shoulder bash dealing stamina damage, probably you guys know, but for newcomers that they didn't know, it deals stamina damage and your opponent is much more likely to get out of stamina in front of you, especially if they're not very mindful of their attack throwing. So what can you do on stamina, out of stamina punishes? Okay, let's talk about the guard break. When you guard break, you throw them, you do a zone attack, and a top unblockable. That's the most damage that you can deal. That's 45 damage. That's a lot of damage. Very good. I also have to note that Warden has the best out of stamina pressure because of your shoulder bash and unblockables. You can just still pressure your enemies and until you get that guard break. Alright? But that's the optimum. You can do other punishes as well, but that's the best punish that you can do if you have the stamina, because that's a lot of stamina, okay? You do throw, you do zone attack and a top heavy. That's a lot of stamina. You can do the top light and top heavy. Don't do the side unblockables because it deals less damage. Why you want to do less damage? Unless again, it's in the minion, you want to have that trajectory. So yeah, that's another story. But I'm talking about the optimum ones. And also, you can do the side lights into top heavy, which is again stupid. I've seen Wardens do that. Please don't do that. Either do the top light. Oh my god. Either do the top light and top heavy, or zone attack and top heavy follow up. Only do these two. If you're short on stamina, do the top light, top heavy. Never ever do the side light, top heavy. The same story is for the parry punish. Again, zone, top heavy. That's it. That's basically it. While out of stamina, throw them to the wall, just like, for example, Warlord, which can get double heavy. You can't get that, nothing. See, they get up. You can't do anything. That's for out of stamina punish, baby. Very straightforward. Warden's out of stamina punish is so straightforward. I love it. That's why I love it. Alright, now, what if you get out of stamina and your opponent starts attacking you? What else you can get from parrying, for example, a light? That's a good question. So, for light parries, let me actually parry one. Why you always throw lights from that side? You get a top light. Okay? Why you just throw light from that side? Anyways, only top light, okay? Oh wow, I was not that fast. Side lights, 10 damage, you don't want that. You just want the optimum punish. So that's 12 damage. Ow. I'm so good at this game. If you do a heavy parryable, now that's for the parries. Now let me just tell you to not do anything. Okay, now for some reason, I don't know how, but sometimes it's doable. For some reason, if you get a guard break while you're out of stamina, you can get a side heavy guaranteed. So do the thing and side heavy, alright? So the reason I couldn't get it because it was so, I was so close to the wall that might not work sometimes. So be careful of that. But if you have enough distance, you can land it. It's not guaranteed, to be honest. It's so hard to land it. You see, I landed this time. Let's try again. Let's go. If you try to throw heavy from the same side that your guard was, it's going to work most of the times, like 99% of the times. I maxed a lot. I just waited a lot. So you can get it, but never do the top heavy. That is not going to happen. But you see, I changed my guard. It sometimes works. It sometimes does not work. But yeah, like try to do a side heavy. It's 99% guaranteed. But again, you don't get the out of stamina guard break much. But bear that in mind, that if you're next to a wall. But what if you're not next to a wall? Then just do a light. Okay, top light, not side light, because side light is 10 damage. Alright, so I'm trying to demonstrate that if your shoulder bash, your fully charged shoulder bash, which wall splats, let me demonstrate that one, wall splats, can actually do any good for you when you get out of stamina immediately after you perform the shoulder bash. And I tried that a lot, but I really can't get anything. I'm trying to get a heavy out of it, but I can't get a side heavy, so top heavy is out of the question. Let's try lights. Sorry for the controller sound, that's just me. I don't know, I'm so loud with my controller. Okay, you can get a light. That's good actually. You can actually get something out of that because it's a wall splat. But it's not like out of stamina wall splat which you can get side heavy. I just imagine I'm out of stamina and I did it side heavy. So let's try again if you can get for example a top light. We can. So 12 damage for out of stamina wall splat with your shoulder bash. That's another punish added to your list. Damn, I'm good. Alright, now Warden has a special punish, which is his top crushing counter. It's only from top. You don't have crushing counter on the sides, and only it's on the top. And let me just demonstrate it. That's the crushing counter. It deals 20 damage, and it's a superior block, as you can see. It just stuns the guy. And you can get a guaranteed follow-up top light. You just saw I did a side light and the guy just parried that. So basically it's 33 damage on crushing counter. That's a lot of damage. And I don't like to say it, but I've seen Warden players do this. Never do this. Please don't do it. But I'm begging you, don't do this. Do this. See? 33 damage into a shoulder bash, not 20 damage into a shoulder bash. You're just missing 30 damage because that second light is actually a second chained light, which instead of 12 damage deals 13 damage. So that's more damage. 33 damage. I'm so bad at this game. Holy shit. Let's go. 33 damage. So that's the power of shoulder bash. The only thing that is not powerful about shoulder bash is that you don't have it on the other sides. So how the shoulder bash works:
I am having a very bad day.
You do a top light exactly at the time you see the flash. Okay, kind of tricky for especially new players to land it because it's a light. You have a lower window to do it because Parry has a very wide window. You do it a little bit early, your character still goes for the parry. But with crushing counter, since it's a light, it doesn't have that luxury. And I don't know if you guys can see it. Is it visible? Your weapon glows when you do the top light. I don't know if you guys can like see it or not. And that means you have the crushing counter. Okay? That's it for the punishes. Let's go to the advanced parts.
These nuts.
Alright, so we start the advanced part with the very first tip that I'm going to tell you guys is that I told you guys already that the dash forward has a very low recovery. So you can abuse that. How? Into this. Dash forward light. it's kind of like all of a sudden, so it will surprise your opponent. So that would be a very nice thing to do. Dash forward light, dash forward immediately light. You see how fast it is? It's so fast, and you can catch them off guard with this trick. That's a nice trick to do. The next one I'm trying to talk about is the zone attack into light. It's not a real chain attack because it's literally not a chain. Like what else? There's no because. And it's parryable. People, I might say this trick works 70% of times to 80. And it's a good trick. The whole point to this trick is that your opponent usually guesses, okay, after that he's going to do a shoulder bash, or after that he's going to do this into this, you know. So they try to light it. Or not even that, they try to just do their own thing. Okay, they say, okay, he did the zone attack, he's low on stam. For example, you were stupid enough to do a lot of zone attacks. Now you're low on stam. You do one, he sees your stam. Now it's 2/3 of it is gone. Now it's my turn. Suddenly you do the light. So zone attack into a light. Very good stuff. Try to do it, not overdo it, because, well, obviously your opponent will adapt. Now the next one, I kind of like don't like this mix-up. I used to do it, but recently and the reason is I usually try to guess that if my opponent is trying to interrupt and go for the interrupt parry. But anyways, you can do this also. I don't recommend it, but it's not a bad mix-up. So it's like this. But you see how much stamina you have to waste just to get lights. So not that practical, but sometimes do it. It's basically just like the heavy unblockable feint into zone attack to catch them either dodging or trying to parry the, for example, top heavy unblockable that you did instead of guard break. But recently I don't do that because most of my opponents, most of them, try to interrupt, and the interrupt is they usually try to do a light after, for example, they see you did a unblockable, they say okay, he's going to cancel it, and they just throw a light. And well, I just cancel it, wait for them to do a light, and just parry it. It's so satisfying, and I recommend you guys do that as well. That's another tip that I'm going to tell you guys, is that you do shoulder bash cancel, you guess. It's usually a guess game here. You guess that okay, my opponent is going to throw a light here to interrupt my shoulder bash. Because as soon as they see you did a dodge, they try to do a light. Or no, they just, for example, you did double light there, they know, okay, after double light he's either going to do a unblockable or a bash, so they throw a light. So you do a double light, cancel, for example, into top light, they do parry. So you can do this, but again, be mindful of your stamina, because you will lose a lot of it. Okay, another method is back dodge. It's not a back dodge, holding back. It's called back step light. That usually you see that Highlander players do that, because Highlander has hyper armor property on his chain heavy. So like if you try to interrupt, try to catch your opponent, they can just do that, or he can go immediately into offensive and just dodge your interrupt and just do a kick. So Highlanders do that because they have that luxury to punish you if you try to interrupt them. Not for Warden. Occasionally you can do that because you kind of like make distance and your shoulder bash still catches them, so they kind of like fuck up with their distance that they're going. The guy thinks, okay, he's not going to catch me with that uncharged shoulder bash, and you catch them. So that's not bad, but like it's fairly punishable, interruptible. Even if you do double lights, it's you kind of like trade with your opponent. But again, that's a thing that I've seen people do. I never did that myself. I never. All in all, let's just say I usually don't step back, dodge back, or step back attack. So that's another thing that you can do. Make a little bit of distance, go into shoulder bash, cancel it, go for it, let it go. So that's that. Also, there is this thing that I've seen some people do with Warden. It's not a tip. It's just like I try to like acknowledge that. You see that? It's kind of hard to get it, but some people do it consistently. Oh, it's so hard to actually execute it. Oh my god. Probably you can like do it on PC better. Oh my god. I was just doing it before I record. I was just practicing it. Now I can't do it. Oh, I did it. I did it again. Oh my god, it's so weird. Look, oh, again, this one. This one is so confusing. You see this one? You see this one? It's so confusing. It's just like the guy is just stepping towards you, but he's not. He's stepping back, but the animation is forward. Or like you see, it's just like the animation is on the left dodge, but it's actually on the back dodge. You see this? Can I do this forward dodge into back with back dodge animation? No, I can't. Okay, good. It's so confusing. Like, I don't know if you played against somebody who does that. It will fuck you up. Not gonna lie. It fucks me up every single time. It's so hard for me to concentrate when I see this rigged animation. This haunting animation. You see this? What the fuck is this? So, I just wanted to say that don't be a pussy like this, people. Don't do this. It's irritating. At least for me. If you were against me, just know that this is my name. Just when you play against me, don't do this. It irritates me. And I'm going to block you. I'm going to report you for abusing this. It's so fucking rude. Anyway, I'm just kidding, but yeah, it's so annoying. Okay, I'm getting a master exploiter here. Oh no! As soon as I said that, I'm just bad at it again. Okay, I need to finish this section. I can't do it. I can't stop doing it. Help! Help! All right, so this next one is not my invention, and I took it from. You probably guys know Havoc. He is a very good Warden player, like one of the best Warden players. And it's I don't know if you can do it. I don't do it personally, but I just took it upon myself to tell you guys. And by the way, his mom passed away. I'm using this platform to just say my condolences, my brother. She's in a better place. I told you before in the comment section. She's in a better place. It's hard to deal with it. It's hard to deal. I really can't understand it. You have to lose your mother to understand it. Nothing compares to that. But yeah, okay, enough of that. Let's lighten the mood. And that's it. You see that? You immediately do this. It confuses your opponent. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And suddenly, a flash uncharged shoulder bash comes right out of the blue. That's actually a nice trick. I have to try it. I try to try it next time in my PvP sections. And you see how... Oh, okay, I fucked that up. Don't do that. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm not running. That's the problem. And you can even cancel it, and like if your opponent like tries to interrupt you, for example, they see this, they immediately try to interrupt you. You can cancel your shoulder bash and then answer to their interrupt attempt. So that's actually a good thing. I haven't seen people do that, but good stuff, Havoc. I like this one. I really kind of like it because it's kind of confusing for your opponent. Although, like in higher ranks, people are kind of like waiting there, watching you, trying to evaluate you. In like casual ranks, like me, and lower ranks, as soon as you do this, you emote. It's an eye for an eye. It's a bloodbath. People just throw attacks. He does not care that you. As soon as he sees you moved, he attacks. That's it. It does not like wait and see. okay, what he's going to do. He attacks. I'll do the first slap and let it happen. Let everything happen. I get the first blood. It's Mortal Kombat. You get the first hit, you get 1 extra bar of meter to use in your advantage, you know? Okay, this trick, I don't use it, again, but I've seen people use it. Especially in competitions, because like you want to win at all costs. In my opinion, it's kind of nasty, but it's a move. There's no shame in using it. I'm just not very comfortable with it, which is unlock zone attacking. You basically do a 60-degree 30-60 degree turn. You see? So yeah, you can do that as well. Especially if your opponent is low, you just unlock and do a zone attack. I did that wrong. Unlock, zone attack. And while you unlock, try to hold back, so your character actually turns. So the animation will be more fucked up. They block it most of the times. The parrying option is not there, in my opinion. It's hard to parry this thing. You can do this as well, like it's so nasty. You can, for example, do, you see, you unlock, try to fool them that you're going to run away. For example, your stamina is a little bit low. Some people do this unlock and try to make space, which again, it's so annoying for me. I don't like that one. It kind of like gives me some kind of like, ooh, look at me. But again, if you want to style, go with the ooh, look at me. But this one is a nice trick. You fool them into, okay, I'm going to make space, and then immediately do a light. Or you may want to make space, you immediately do a zone attack. So feel free to use it. I don't use it personally. I'm not very comfortable in unlocking. When I get locked in, I stay locked in. It's kind of hard for me to unlock. That's why I'm very bad at Dominion, because I only concentrate on one person at a time. Anyways, all right. Another thing is, this tip is kind of hard to perform, and you kind of do it unconsciously. So, but if you're doing it consciously, you have a very good presence of mind. And I feel like I said that. I kind of forgot. I have a very bad memory for some reason. My memory is very good, but I don't know what happened to me today. But I do feel like I said that in shoulder bash section, that you can feint your shoulder bash at the very, very last frame. And I'll try to demonstrate it. You see? Even your character says the voice line that usually he says when you let the shoulder bash go. So, you see? All the bash animation is almost there, but you see? You can do it for the fully charged shoulder bash as well. It's kind of like harder, but you see, again, your character says the voice line. Whenever your character says the voice line, means you delayed that a lot. And also your character, which is Warden, I don't need to describe it. Steps a little bit forward. You see, steps a little bit forward when you delay that. So, in a very rare case that if somebody actually reacts to that, which I don't think so, you can do this trick. Oh my god, it's kind of tricky. The half charge is the trickiest one. Oh my god, you just saw that. Oh no, not that one. You see? I'll get. Again. You see? You see? So that's that. Warden is so flexible, man. Like, you can have solution for 99. Although I'm just saying again, I feel like I'm saying it a lot in this video. Warden has so many counters. Warden is not that easy, but for those counters, he has solutions. So they're not completely like you. It's not a completely loss match when you're against some counters. All in all, Warden has a hard time against most heroes because, again, not a very good iframe options, no-brainer options, let's say. But other heroes have that no-brainer option. So yeah, you're kind of not in a good advantage in that point, but your advantage is your shoulder bash. Always remember that. So let's go to the next one. Another trick is, like, I really don't do this myself, not gonna lie, but I did it like in some games. I don't do it usually. It's this. This is a very interesting mix-up. It's basically fancy. It's nothing like it's nothing to it, to be honest, because I don't know, but it kind of catches people dodging. Especially you can like a little bit delay it as well, like hold your shoulder bash again. So that's actually good as well. Don't do it much because if they try to interrupt you, they have plenty of time to interrupt you out of that. So now another tip that I'd like to give you, Warden enjoyers, is, oh my god, I use this move a lot, which is not healthy because your opponent tries to adapt, but you can play with it. You either can like immediately go for it or delay the shit out of that thing. It's really good, especially when your opponent gets out of stamina and the little bitches try to back dodge. Like a little bitch they are.
You dirty slut.
So you just immediately catch them here. They either block it or they're in between their back dodge and you just get clipped. And guess what? You can maintain your pressure. You can maintain that little pressure there. Another thing that I like to say that I myself need to listen to it more, let go of those unblockables more. Trust me. Especially the top one, I like to go it let it go most of the time because it's 32 damage. And who knows, it might land. And if it lands, that's 32 damage. That's a lot of damage. Alright, the next thing that came into my mind is when you start the game, okay, you see your opponent probably doing some emote shit and stuff, and I don't get it. Some people do it every single round, which I really don't get it. But usually they do this, okay? And you just want to evaluate your opponent. You do this. You try to evaluate your opponent, which tells you some stories. If your opponent likes to dodge early, if your opponent likes to dodge even, if your opponent likes to interrupt you. So you can like evaluate your opponent with some like test shots with your shoulder bash and check them out. Or you can just immediately cancel your shoulder bash into a light. Another good thing to do, I do this too a lot, but people sometimes parry it, but most of the times they don't. So basically you cancel it into a light, and the reason you do it when your opponent dodges, especially early dodges, they think like their muscle memory kicks in and they do a guard break. They usually do a guard break because they try to like pre-guard break your guard break attempt. They think you're going to guard break them, so they pre-guard break and your light is going to catch them. Or even they just dodge, your light is going to catch them. That's a good thing to do. Feint your shoulder bash into light or feint your shoulder bash into zone attack. I told you, don't do that. That's not a good thing, healthy thing to do. But sometimes it works. And the next thing that I kind of like to do as well is that you kind of sometimes can trick your opponent, especially opponents like Orochi, Peacekeeper after her bleed. You dodge the bleed. For example, Peacekeeper does a soft feint into bleed. You guess, okay, he's going to do a bleed. You dodge it. She does the bleed. Guess what? She can dodge attack afterwards, right? And she thinks, okay, he's going to dodge. He's definitely not going to guard break me. He's going to, and especially he sees you do the shoulder bash. What will she do? She does a dodge, right? Or dodge attack. And if you do it uncharged shoulder bash, she's going to dodge attack you. You're going to get whiffed, and she's going to deal damage to you. You'll be lucky if she does the dodge attack, because if she empty dodges and catches your whiffed shoulder bash, it's guard break. So what else you do? You dodge into fully charged shoulder bash. And fully charged shoulder bash tracks. Tracks very good. Has a very good track. And you just armor through the dodge attack. Also, I forgot to mention this. Shoulder bash, fully charged shoulder bash, has hyper armor on the shoulder bash at the final seconds, at the final frames. You see, your character glows. You have the hyper armor, so they can interrupt you. Usually it's for trading with dodge attacks, alright? So that's another interesting thing that you can do. So if your opponent can dodge cancel the recovery like Berserker, Orochi, Afira. Afira is a little bit tricky because she will probably dodge and do a kick. Or like, for example, Shinobi will dodge and do a kick. So you really try to bait them into doing that. You bait them into doing that, then dodge it. And then go for a guard break, you see? That's why Warden is so good, so damn good. Because you can punish your opponents with that shoulder bash a lot. You can bait. He's a bait machine with the shoulder bash. He's the master of baits. And probably the final thing that I'd like to say is that do not be afraid of throwing your shoulder bashes. I myself sometimes am afraid to throw the shoulder bashes of, like for example, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get dodge attacked, I'm going to get guard broken. Don't care about it. Throw the shoulder bash. Why we throw shoulder bashes a lot? Uncharged, half charged, sometimes fully charged. To condition your opponent. That's another thing that to add. Condition your opponent. Your opponent doesn't like to dodge. You're going to shoulder bash spam the shit out of him until he tries to dodge. Now he's afraid. Okay, he's going to do an uncharged or a fully charged this time. You see? Try to make him guess. Try the guess game. If you be predictable, you're dead. Trust me. So don't be discouraged of getting punished because of your shoulder bash whiffed, because you're conditioning the guy. And it's going to feel sweet when you land that fully charged shoulder bash on the guy who was conditioned to dodge early. Okay? That's super sweet. Alright, so I'm going to talk about another thing that you can do. It's a very nice trick. It's this. Did you just saw how I double dodge that? You can technically double dodge fully charged shoulder bash of another Warden. Or Centurion if you have enough recovery. You see, I sometimes don't get enough. You need to be very fast. You see? You need to be very fast. Try to practice that. It's a good thing. I dodged too late on that one. I was still recovering. You see? So this is a very important skill to learn, because you can do this as well. For some reason I couldn't guard break him. I don't know why. Now I can guard break. You see? So another thing is that you have to be careful. I don't know, again, like the delay on your shoulder bash dodge is kinda like hard to do. So if you're unsure that you're going to like let go of your guard break sometimes, I backdodged there. He could counter guard break me there. You see, sometimes even I mistakenly just do my shoulder bash instead of trying to guard break it. Kinda happens. I don't know, recently it's happening. I don't know why it's happening. You see, I wait enough, but still it activates the late shoulder bash input. Let's try again. Please. Oh my fucking god. Okay, this time it worked. Also, you can do this as well. You're unsure that the guy is going to shoulder bash, fully charge it or not. You just guard break it. If it happened to be a fully charged shoulder bash, you double dodge it. You see how beautiful it is? It's awesome. So let's see. I wait a little bit to see if it's a fully charged. If it's not, guard break. If it is, dodge. Oh my god. So that's it. That was the very nice part that I wanted to tell you. You can do this against Centurion and Hitokiri as well because they have charged bashes. But Warden has the best example because it's a neutral. Other heroes, it might not work, especially on the heavy. When Centurion throws a heavy into the guard break, into the bash, this method might not work because you're still recovering from the hit stun of the heavy, because every attack has hit stun, right? So yeah, be careful about that. But this thing is very nice. Like, only skilled, remember that only skilled Warden players do this. It might take a lot of stamina because you're canceling a shoulder bash, so and again guard breaking, but basically you turn a top heavy of your opponent into a side heavy of your own. That's a good trick. And nothing else comes to my mind, but have this as a final word of advice. Let go of that foolish shoulder bash sometimes. Even if your opponent's just staring at your face, probably they try to just wait there and just interrupt you out of your guard break, or they just don't dodge. So try that. But it's kind of like kind of risky to do because most of the times they dodge. If you see your opponent just staring at your face when you do the fully charged, they usually either go for a dodge attack after that or just empty dodge. It just depends on your opponent's, like how you evaluate your opponent. Like if your opponent likes to punish you with a dodge attack, or your opponent is just mixing it up, or your opponent just likes to dodge more rather than dodge attacks. Usually with Warden, people try to empty dodge more because it's a guaranteed guard break, right? But some heroes like Berserker, I don't know what that is, or I even saw that in Raider as well. When you whiff your fully charged shoulder bash, like the distance in between you two is like is getting a lot, like you get a lot of distance in between, that if they try to guard break you, they whiff and you can guard break them instead. So they try to dodge attack most of the times in that scenario. If they know their hero is going to, after the fully charged shoulder bash. Again, it kind of depends on when you dodge. If you dodge late, this might happen to some heroes. And I don't know really what's the reason behind it. But most of the other heroes, they don't have this problem. They dodge, you whiff, they get a guard break. So Yeah, usually just people just empty dodge it because it's a guard break. Why would they like to give away a heavy that they can do, which, granted, most of the times, like 99% of the times, can be chained into other mix-ups. They sacrifice that for a lower damage, which, yeah, right. It can be, again, the dodge attack can be chained into more mix-ups, but again, guard break is the best bet. So they usually try to prioritize the guard break out of that. So sometimes let that go. It's not that bad. Or again, if you're unsure, you can just cancel into guard break. I feel like that's it for today's video. Warden is a hero that, again, in duels, not in Dominion. I'm not very good with Warden in Dominion in any hero. In duels, you can dominate people. Really, I'm saying that. You can dominate people if you try to use the tools correctly. Again, yeah, that's true. You can't always win with Warden. Warden has so many hard counters. Ocelotl, for instance, but they kind of nerfed Ocelotl, so not anymore, I guess. But all in all, because Warden doesn't have any reliable defensive moveset, you really rely on that offensive part of it, which is Shoulder Bash. Shoulder Bash can be used as defensive, but most of the times you do it as an opener, as an offensive. And don't forget about the fast dash forward Shoulder Bash. That's very important. And yeah, enjoy playing Warden. If this helped you improve your Warden, tell me. I'll be glad to hear that. If it didn't help you, again, tell me. I'll be glad to hear why it was not helpful. If you knew all these tips, then good for you, I guess. Like that's not nothing to do with me. But yeah, if they were unique, tell me. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your precious time. I hope it was informative. See you guys in the battlefield. I hope you guys enjoyed.